Good evening, good afternoon, whatever it may be. My name is Marissa Franklin, known as God Swallow. Since I'm the founder and author of DW Psychic Reading, so I'm coming forth to give you a general spiritual psychic reading. The message that's coming into mind is make sure you have a good sense of directions in regards of where you're going and where you need to go. Before you leave out the house, be more aware in knowing your destinations, okay? And also knowing your way and going back home. You might be traveling, I would say, in 2 and 3 weeks, but make sure you have a good sense of directions. Um, you might receive some type of warnings when it comes to the east and the west. If you are traveling to the east and the west, be careful, especially when it comes to the weather, okay? Make sure that you're monitoring the weather forecast if you are traveling from the east to the west. All right. When it comes to relationships, I'm actually getting emotional whirlwind, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. I mean, even though that Venus and Mercury is direct, but however, I think everybody is not suited upon everybody else's expectations. People masks start coming off. And the reason why people masks are coming off because the other person is not suited upon their expectations, which leads them to disappointment. They're actually disappointed because they expect a person to be what they expect it to be, and all of a sudden their partner is actually seeing their true self of what they do not like about themselves. Well, I'm not going to say themselves, but also their partner too. And it's actually causes some type of discrepancy and animosity within a relationship as well too. Not only being accepting the true self within a relationship, but also not willing to accept the good and the bad of the relationship. When it comes to business, be careful of your paperwork. I'm seeing, I believe that copyright is involved, more like infringement. Somebody could be falsifying some type of documentation to make it seem as if they're doing something correctly, but they're not. And I'm actually hearing forging signatures. But what I'm getting right now is somebody is actually making up stories or actually putting some type of false statements in documents or actually making up numbers. More like infringement and copyright. That's what I'm getting right now. But somebody is falsifying documentations when it comes to business. So be careful, especially when you're signing documentations, okay? Make sure that somebody is following the contract or make sure that you're following upon the contract, but also make sure that somebody else is following upon the contract. So I'm going to start off with my psychic reading oracle, which I made for my company, DW Psychic Reading, to give us the overall message of what we need to look forward in regards to the current and also what may be. Stop being a tin man. Being an introvert does initiate closeness within a relationship. Does not, I'm sorry, being an introvert does not initiate closeness within a relationship. You will encounter somebody who wants to become more open with them. There's somebody who is actually upset at the fact that you're hiding things from them or you're not being open as much to them. And the reason why that you feel uncomfortable and not being open to them because of trust issues, that you're not willing to trust them, and you feel like as if they're hiding something from you, but they expect you to be more open with them as they're being open with you. Okay? There needs to be an icebreaker between the two of you. I believe that the reason why you're not willing to trust as much with this individual because you still think of them as for who they used to be in the past, but they're not. But you're not giving them a chance for them to make changes within themselves, so therefore they can bring in a positive influence within this relationship. Okay, and stop doubting them because if you start doubting them, then they will not they will not make as much effort to bring in a positive influence in the relationship as well. So it's all about give them some type of credit that they're trying to make changes with this relationship. Because as they're trying to make the effort and make changes in the relationship, it's actually like an icebreaker for them as they expect you to be open to them. Okay, but maybe that you need to be more honest with them and let them know why you decide not to be open to them, or why you do not want to say as much when it comes to um, sharing your emotions with them, because there are some things that you want to keep confidential from them and you're afraid they might say to other people. But you actually need to be more honest with them as they have been honest with you. Okay, I think it's your part. You need to be, you need to make the effort to pursue the type of relationship that you want within this relationship. Is you need to make the effort to be open and truthful and honest with them, rather than holding it in so much. Okay, because if you keep holding secrets from them, you actually causing a blockage in this relationship. Be careful of I would say your attitude. People will make you feel some type of way about yourself. And sometimes you will work with people or actually be acquainted with people who will make you feel the way to how you feel about yourself. And the reason why they tend to make you feel the way to how you feel about yourself, because they are afraid that you might move on, and they are afraid that you might become successful at them. They do not want you, well, they do not want you to be more inspirational, motivated yourself, or become motivated and being more competent, and also seeing yourself in doing things that actually would enhance your skills. Not only enhance your skills, but also be more intellectual. You're dealing with somebody who does not want you to be promoted. And the reason why they want to make you feel incompetent, because they're afraid that you might be promoted. They're afraid that you might take their position. So their alternative motive is make you feel doubtful, make you feel upset, and make you feel afraid of certain things that you want to progress in life and holding you back. And keep you in that self-doubting mind. But you cannot give them that type of satisfaction at all. You gotta stay motivated. You gotta inspire yourself. Yes, you do have to say positive affirmation of yourself, and you do have to believe in yourself, and you do have to have faith within yourself. That you could challenge yourself in doing things that you're not even afraid of doing, and take risks. Yeah, basically taking risks. Okay? But also you got to believe in yourself that you are more intellectual as well too, and skillful too. So I'm trying, you know, become, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it like this: stop trying to be below their standards, because that's what they want. They expect you just be below their standards at all. They expect you to feel insecure. They expect you to feel unconfident, because they don't want to see you being successful. Because they know that you're skillful. They know you're intellectual. But like I said, you got to push yourself and challenge yourself to make you become intellectual, to make you more confident, to make you more competent in the field that you're in right now. You got to prove yourself and being something that you always want to be, rather than keeping somebody else happy and living in misery. You got to be above influence. So that's what you need to work on, is being above influence and proving people wrong. Okay? That's what you need to do. Why are these cards? Okay. One must see what the other has been denying, the moon, but it's reversed. So like I said, you are actually in denial to the point that you believing that you're not fit to be in certain role or play a certain role or play a certain field, but you are. You are. You are skillful. You are talented to be in that field, to play that role. Okay? What matter is that you need to have the confidence in believing that you could play that role. You need to have the confidence that you're intellectual to work in that field. Right now, your emotions being screwed based upon how people want to project upon to you and seeing you failing. No, you need to start pursuing your goals and also making achievements and being something that you always want to be. You got to prove people wrong. Stop allowing people's perceptions to bring you down. You need to use your confidence to uplift yourself up. Okay? Time to correct and redirect your attentions. This is the time to retract and learn from your mistakes, but this is reverse. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to tell you why you have these guilty conscience. The reason why that you have these guilty conscience is because you're around people who have guilty conscience. You don't even realize that you're around people who is actually, I'm not saying being framed, but also being a suspect of doing certain things they should not be doing. And sometimes they don't want to take accountability based upon for what they have done wrong onto others. And what they do is that they project their feelings, their guilt onto you to make you more insecure of yourself. So that's why you're feeling these regrets and guilt, because you're around people who are more guilty of themselves of the way to how they make you feel, based upon how they feel about themselves or what they have done to other people too. You are aware of your mistakes. You acknowledge your accountabilities and also your responsibilities. But also, you need to start realizing that you cannot carry other people's emotional burdens since they're not accountable to correct their own burdens. Because they know how to acknowledge their own mistakes and also burdens too. But you do. So what you need to do is release those burdens that does not belong to you, and leave it to the people that need to be held accountable and take care of their own burdens. So again, the reason why you're feeling regretful, the reason why you're feeling guilt, because you are actually picking up how other people feel about themselves for what they have done to other people too. This could be a secret. You don't know about it, but eventually you'll find out. The enemy is weary at the thought of losing his or her power. Some is surrendering to make peace and love. Maybe because they know about you. Maybe because of the fact they know what they have been doing behind the scenes. Or maybe somebody else have caught them in action in regards to what they have been doing, which is illegal. And since it has caught up to them, therefore they're trying to reconcile with you, therefore they're trying to make an apology or being apologetic to you. Because somebody caught them in action. See, you do not know about this. You do not know about the event that took place based upon for what they have done wrong onto other people, but eventually you'll find out. Someone is leading you into confusion, haze. Like I said, you need to stop allowing people misconstruing your emotions based upon their flaws, based upon their faults, based upon their regrets, and also their guilt. That's why you're confused. You're confused because you're surrounded by people who are also being consumed by their own guilt, to the point that make you feel guilty about yourself of what? Of nothing. You are picking up how people feel about themselves. But yet, yes, you do take accountability based upon your actions, based upon your behavior, but also The reason why you feeling like this is because you're around people who does not take accountable of their actions and behavior, but they're gonna put it out on you. So be careful of that. And I have here the sacred symbol. It's all about peace, all about meditation. So yeah, there's a time when you need to meditate and understand yourself and have a self-realization of yourself. And ostracizing yourself, be distance from others, and know about yourself, and also know about them. And having a quiet mental state, or being in a mental state, and think about yourself and your awareness and also your actions, and be more critical of your actions. But while you're doing that, you're going to observe people's side with silence and look at their actions as well too. I apologize. See it as a pattern. When you see it as a pattern, therefore you know for who they really are. But yet you need to acknowledge your patterns as well too, and understand what needs to be corrected. But since you realize what needs to be corrected, therefore you will not become like them. This does not have to deal with you. Again, they are just venting for seeing the bigger picture. If so, then wait. Misguided information. I'm going to tell you something. People will actually judge you based upon their experience and based upon their perception of how they see about certain things, of what they accept and what they do not. And when they see certain things of what you do and what they do not like, they will judge. And the reason why they will judge is because they will not accept that. Now, you might be working with people who are from different cultural groups or different ethnic groups, who are not accustomed based upon what you're doing or based upon what you believe. And people are going to express themselves on how they feel or how they think based upon their personal opinion. But what I said, would it allow you to, how it should affect you? It should not personally affect you. People have their own personal opinions. But, however, if it actually affects your work relationship with the individual when it comes to discrimination, then there's something that needs to be said. There's something that needs to be said. There's something that needs to be addressed. Because nobody should not be discriminating you based upon your color and also based upon your religious and spiritual belief. Or cultural belief. Because if that was the case, then yes, you can report it to Human Resources or you can report it to EEOC. But yet again, be careful of having people projecting their insecurities onto you and make you feel the same way how they feel about themselves, because you're not accountable based upon their behavior and actions. You're only accountable of your actions and behavior. What I'm getting with this spread, I'm actually getting false accusation. That somebody is actually going to accuse you of something that you have not done because you were not there. Or you were not present. But if you were present, I would advise you to get a statement. Date, time. Write a statement if you need to. But what I'm getting right now is somebody trying to plan or make a false accusation against you to make it seem as if that you did something that you were not supposed to be doing, that you were going against code of conduct, but you were not there. Never doubt it. You will always be loved. There is somebody who is watching you. There is somebody who is protecting you. There is somebody who's going to give some type of guidance to the point that somebody is actually going to protect you and also protect your job as well too. Don't feel like as if your job is threatened, but I actually see that somebody is actually protecting your job. Would it be the management? Is somebody above the management? I believe that the management is being microscopic observed, or however you would say it. Your manager is being watched. The reason why your manager is being watched because somebody had made a complaint about how the manager is not doing their job, and also the discrimination that's going on within the job as well too. So somebody's questioning the manager of how they're taking care of the employees and also the clientele as well too. So your manager is under pressure; they're being watched, but your job is being protected. Okay. When it comes to relationship, there is somebody who really cares about you, but they expect you to be open to to them. Be might be careful how you judge your partner based upon of what they say. Now, if they say something that was actually like verbally aggressive, then yes, that needs to be addressed. But if it's like constructive criticism based upon how they feel about you in this relationship, like I said earlier, that they feel as if that you actually not being open with them or you're not being honest with them, take it with sincerity. Maybe that the reason why that you're afraid not to be open to them is because of the fact that you don't trust anybody with your emotions, and you believe that people are not being receptive to your emotions, that they just brush it off. That's all you have to say to them. That's all they want to hear. So be careful not to judge your partner too harshly if they give you constructive criticism of how they feel about you in being receptive to this relationship. Because you think that they're not being receptive to you, but how you expect to be receptive to this relationship if you're not willing to be honest with them? So be careful of that, okay? Because when you actually judge your partner too harshly, you're pushing them away. And I have here 10 of moments, but it's reversed. One needs to learn to have an open heart in order to mend a broken heart, like I just said. Work on and being open and honest with your partner. That's all they want is honesty. Just tell them how you feel. Tell them why you keep certain things to yourself. But just do not judge them harshly. Just do not get to the point when you push them away. Just tell them how they feel, as they have been open to you and tell you how they feel about this relationship. That's all you need to do. Okay, I'm going to go to the fortune teller cards, the Savilas, and which fortune telling cards? You got unexpected money coming in. As long as you have been doing your taxes, you've got money coming in. As long as you have been filling out some documentation or paperwork when it comes to money, money is coming in. You just got to pay your dues. That's how money circulates. You just got to pay off your dues. Okay? But you got unexpected money coming in. You thought I was going to say, oh, you just got unexpected money coming in. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So you expect the money to come through, in thin air, but you're not doing anything about it. You're not doing nothing about it. Yes, you got to be productive if you expect money to coming in. Yes, you got to do something that's, creative. You expect the influx of money coming in. Okay? Once you start making the effort and putting yourself out there to be more profitable, money will be coming in different avenues. But doing nothing, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It takes actions for money to come in. Okay? But yes, unexpected money is coming in. As long as you put yourself out there, as long as you do the work. That's all it takes. As long as you put yourself out there, as long as you do the work. Because you never know. You actually will save somebody else's life based upon the service you give to another person. You will be rewarded. Whether it could be monetary or whether it could be something else that could be beneficial for you. But make sure it's coming from the right hand. Make sure that this money is coming from the right hands, okay? Make sure this money is coming from the right hands. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My fellas, when it comes to dating, be mindful, be careful, and be aware of who you're dating. I'm actually getting it could be a setup. Whether it's just somebody trying to arrange for somebody to, I don't know, I don't know why I'm getting a throw down. That's why I'm getting a throw down, or somebody trying to jump on you, or somebody trying to set you up, fellas. Just be mindful, be careful of who you are dating, fellas. Okay, just be careful. Man, yeah, I'm talking about y'all too, the militants. I'm talking about y'all too. Well, I mean, you got some good news coming in. Whatever news is coming in is not going to be depressing, but your mood will change around. Your mood will change around. If you're depressing, hey, you might receive a news that's going to uplift you from being depressed. Like I said, it could be unexpected money. Maybe this unexpected money is going to change your mood or how you really feel about yourself right now. Give me 1 second. I don't know why these cards keep falling. Ugh, okay. So I have here as a pleasant letter, but it was reversed. So it's a possibility you might get it in 3 days, or it might be a week delayed, and you might get this pleasant letter. But there's some good news that's coming in, but it's going to be in delay. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay? Is this reverse? So you might receive this letter in, I don't know why I'm getting 7 months. So yeah, it was reversed because, like I said, it could be a delay. So you might receive something good news that's going to come in 7 months or at 7 days. Okay? This could be dealing with the job. The reason why it's taking so long to pick you as a candidate because of the fact that they are doing interviews to other candidates that's experienced, that has worked in the field, that's aware of the company as well too. But right now they're actually being suspicious about you because of the he or she say. Could it be blackball? Yes, it could be blackball possibly, but there's somebody who is still thinking and picking you as a candidate. Sometimes it could be a certification. Whether it's that you need to renew your certification because they're actually going through policy as well too, or follow upon policy. But there is somebody who is thinking about picking you as a candidate. At that particular location that you're inquiring, no, it could be another location. So there is somebody who is inquiring to pick you as a candidate. It just right now they'll follow upon policy and expect you to renew a certification and also doing some more background check on you. You might I would say the most appropriate thing to do is have an exit interview. If you have discrepancy from your previous employer, ask for an exit review or interview, if I'm saying that right. So therefore, you give your statement in regards of why that employer wrongfully terminates you. Now, it's a possibility that somebody probably left, somebody probably got terminated from that job, and they're looking for a replacement. This could be in management, or this could be in a higher up. And that's why it's taking too long for them to, get you hired. So somebody's trying to look for a replacement when it comes to management. Whether it could be a supervisor or sub-supervisor. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. You got some good news coming in. You got some news coming in, whether it's somebody going to confess their feelings for you, but you got some good news coming in. So I was right about that. Somebody was making up some numbers or falsifying some documentation when it comes to your business or when it comes to your job. So that's what it is. It's a possibility that somebody has been falsifying some documentation when it comes to the job or also within the management. And I guess that the higher up or the corporate is trying to find ways to replace the management based upon the false documentation that takes place within the job. That's why you have not been hired, because of the discrepancy or the illegal actions that's been going on within the job that you don't even know about. There could be some type of change that's going to take place due to the falsified documentation that has been happening within the job as well too. So you might have a meeting based upon this legal action that took place when it comes to the management department. Now the corporate might appear themselves, or one of the representatives within the corporate might appear themselves within this meeting and trying to be apologetic based upon what happened, what took place within the management. Okay? So there's going to be a lot of changes when it's going to happen at your job. It might happen in 3 to 6 months. But this is something for which you expect it to happen. It's going to be shocking to you, because I have here is waiting, I have here haughtiness, and I have here a surprise. So this is something that you already knew what was going to happen. So you probably knew of the fact of the mischievous, I would say dirty business that took place at the job. And the reason why you didn't say anything about it because of the fact of you afraid that you don't want to get caught up in the mess. Whether you knew about it or your spider sense is probably saying something that was not right about the management department. That's something that ain't right. The job itself. So whatever that you thought what was going on at the job, it's going to come to surface. It's going to come to surface. Like I said, the corporation or the corporate or one of the representatives from the corporate is going to address themselves, going to have a meeting with you, and also discuss the fact of why a lot of change is going to take place at your job or at that location because of the legal action that took place within the management department. And right now they're trying to correct that. Confirmation. My last readings, I clarified that somebody was making up numbers. Earlier, I said that somebody has been making false documentations, reiterating some statements, or forging signature. So it's a possibility that somebody's going to be replaced at your job, and it's going to be within the management department based upon falsified documentations. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying that. That could be the case. Whether it could be infringement or false documentation. But this is something that you already knew. Now, most likely when it comes to the meeting the dog, you might have a reunion with a friend or old friend that you never thought that you're going to reacquaint it. But now you're going to have a chance to be acquainted with the old friend. But when it comes to your business, because I have here as a tower, there's something that you already knew was going on at the job and you're going to find out. This might happen in July or early August. But right now, I guess somebody got caught. At this point, somebody got caught doing something they were not supposed to be doing at the job. Now, they did say you are going to wait on some good news that's going to come to you, whether it's going to happen in 7 months or 7 days. And you have a companion who's willing to change your depressive, your depression. You have a friend that's going to come in that's going to change, the way to how you feel about yourself. If you are grieving or you are depressed right now too, and you might receive an offer when it comes to a new job or from a new community or a new organization. And this might happen in May. I don't know why I'm getting May the 19th. May the 19th is significant. Remember I said that people will tend to put their perception or perspective on you and try to make you feel low about yourself or make you feel insecure about yourself? Well, the reason why they're actually doing that because they know that you are going to be promoted. They're trying to keep you away from being promoted. That's why they make you feel incompetent. That's why they make you feel as if you're not skillful as them because they know that you want to be promoted. Yep. Because I have here is a lily. And I did mention that your job is protected because lily signifies a father figure. I don't care what nobody say. A lily is like the emperor. And I have here is a cat and a bird. The birds, cats and birds, that's like gossip. That's slandered. That somebody's going around slandering your reputation. That somebody's trying to defame your reputation, your work ethics, especially with the book. But with the book and alliances, they are aware that there is somebody who it wants to be a partner up with you or somebody who wants to partner up with you to work with them and to hire up. You might work in human resources, you might work in HR, you might work within corporate. But that's the word. That is the word, that they are afraid that you're going to be promoted. And it's people who have been slandering you, defaming your reputation, they are being watched as well too. Okay? So, I have here is a marriage card, and I have here is the park, and I have here is the extra joker, which is a good thing. That means good fortune, good side of everything, positive turn. And I have here is a child. Follow me. And I have here is a high honors. Now, this means as if that you receive an offer, like I said, to work in a higher ups, or be promoted to work in a higher position within the corporate. But when it comes to relationship, you are actually going to be in a relationship with someone who's going to be committed to you. But yet, not only that you're going to be in a relationship with your lover, but you actually going to be in a relationship with their child as well too. So, when you have this reunion, safe relationship with this lover, you're actually going to have a relationship with their child as well too. Will their child accept you? Yes. But it depends upon your approach to the child and also your tone of the child. You have to be very, very patient in building a relationship with this child. This is something that you can't force, and this is something you cannot rush. You will be proposed by somebody who has a child already. That's 5 or 6 years old. Okay? And they're smart. Yet, you got to understand that you have to respect this child's boundaries as well too. Whether they know about it or whether they don't. But you as an adult, you have to teach them and educate them when it comes to setting boundaries as well as a child. So when you are being proposed by this person who has a child, not only that you're going to have a relationship with this individual, but you're going to have a relationship with this child as well too. Will they accept you? Yes, but again, this is something that cannot be forced. You got to be patient with this child, as this child has to be patient with you. Okay? So not only that you look forward and spend the rest of your life with somebody that you love and adore, but yet you're going to spend your rest of your life with their children as well too. All right, let me get to tarot. I don't know why I'm receiving the Eight of Pentacles. For some particular reason, you're very, very cautious when it comes to your job, that you are worrying about your job. You should not be worrying as much about your job. Your job is safe. It's just that you have to be mindfully careful and not giving people the satisfaction in doubting yourself. So when you walk in that job, stop doubting yourself. You need to stay confident within yourself and believe that you're competent and working the field that you're in right now too. Okay? That you are very much equipped, intellectually equipped for that field. So stop giving the satisfaction and thinking that you're incompetent. Stop doing that. Believe that you're competent. Believe in having confidence within yourself that you're competent to be in that field. Okay? I'm using a tarot of the divine. So I have here as the death. I have here as the fool. I have here as the hermit. I'm sorry. This is the death card. This is the fool. This is the hermit. This is the star. For some reason, I'm actually getting as if that you're actually trying to reveal the curtains when it comes to death. That you want to know what's next. Now, for the ones who physically experiencing death, there are certain things that's going to change. You might receive an unexpected change, whether you like it or not, but it's meant to happen. And it's going to happen out of a spiritual sense. Now, if you have a loved one that's being passed, there is a reason why that they are passing. Is because of the fact that they expect you to move on in life and make that change or make that risk within your life as well too, with the fool. Rather than being stagnated and believing to think that they're still going to be there. But if you keep on being at the stagnation, what you're doing is you holding them back and crossing over. Not only that you're causing that curse upon to them, but you're causing that curse upon to yourself. And the curse that you're causing upon yourself is that you're actually holding yourself back from being successful. The reason why they're making that transition, because they are willing to sacrifice their life to open up that door for you to have a new life. You don't like it, well, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to say it. The reason why they're making that transition is because they're willing to sacrifice their life for you to have a new life. To open up that door for new opportunities for you. It's not good for you to search for death. It's not good for you to be speculating of death. Allow it to happen. Because once you allow death to happen, therefore it's willing to open up the doors for you. Opportunities, dreams, and goals. Now, for the spiritual sense, maybe that you are afraid to walk through this journey by yourself, but I think it's time for you to walk in this journey by yourself. The white staff, I read a book about the white staff in the story and the fables. The white staff signifies courage. And having courage and walking your own spiritual journey and get to know of your own awareness and also seeking your own enlightenment. Yes, you have reached your own enlightenment, but which enlightenment? And understanding yourself as a whole being of yourself when it comes to the light and the dark. And how you're willing to work with both the light and the dark. When you continue to work in societies where you feel like you're not belong. But sometimes when you start blending the light and the dark perspective of seeing things for what they really are, then you understand that what it means to live in your own life and go through your own spiritual journey. And when you start grasping the polarity of the light and the dark, therefore you start reaching your success and fame, which is the star. And don't think that you're doing this by yourself. Oh no, you are being spiritually guided because the universe is still talking to you. When you take the time to hear them out what they have to say in the meditative state. Whether that you're sitting alone and being quiet, or maybe that you're just daydreaming. Sometimes they'll talk to you while you're daydreaming. But yes, your spiritual guides always follow you. Your spiritual guides always hear you out what you have to say. So don't think that you're walking this journey by yourself. No, you're not alone. Because your guides are always with you. But yes, you do need to start believing yourself when you're walking this journey by yourself as well too. Because there are some things that what you need to see and what you need to grasp when it comes to life. Whether it could be here or whether it could be somewhere else. So I have here is the Moon Princess. This is the moon. And I have here is the Five of Swords. And I have here is the Judgment card. And I have here is the Sun. Now, maybe on Easter, the Resurrection Day, you're probably going to realize people who are not to meet in your life. And you are going to see people for who they really are. But it's up to you to decide whether you want to let them go or leave them be. But you are going to decide that who is for you and who is against you when it comes to the Resurrection Day. Yet they call it Judgment Day. You're going to see people who have been betraying you. You are going to see people who have been lying to you. It could be your lover. It could be somebody you're dating. Or it could be one of your friends. Maybe that you're going to have a gathering. More like a family gathering. And all of a sudden you're going to find out that somebody said something that was very disgraceful. And is that actually going to make you feel otherwise about them. And now you actually see it for who they really are. I did mention that when it comes to relationship, people are not going to meet your expectation when it comes to being your partner within this relationship, as you do not meet their expectations too, because they expect you to be somebody what they want you to be, but it's not for who you really are. And then you see them as who you expect them to be, but it's not for who they really are. So they're going to actually reveal that mask. And of them revealing that mask, they're going to say something that is very disgraceful at this gathering. And it actually shows you for who they really are, based upon what they said. So, of your judgment, when it comes to this resurrection day, you're going to decide who is for you and who is against you. Especially when it comes to someone being your lover or somebody being your friend. But I do see here that a Leo is willing to help you and give you clarification based upon how you feel about certain things and how you see about certain things. But be careful of using your perception as your emotions. Be careful of that. Because when you tend to do that, you tend to push people away. People have their own personal opinions, but you should not allow their opinions to misconstrue your emotions. They're just telling you for who they really are, and you just got to accept that. I'm seeing it could be an Aquarius and it could be a Leo that probably might give you some insights or some guidance based upon how you feel about certain things spiritually and understanding yourself. The Leo and Aquarius actually see you for who you really are when it comes to your spirituality. They're the ones who actually acknowledge your spiritual gifts. And they're the ones who actually encourage you to use your spiritual gifts and give you further insight based upon what you're going through in life and use it as your advantage. They're the ones who's trying to teach you to uplift yourself rather than doubting yourself. Because all that doubt that you have is actually pushing you away and enhancing your spiritual gift. They're trying to warn you and not to be blindsided by your insecurities and reframing yourself and using your spiritual gift. They're trying to encourage you in using your spiritual gift. The Leo and Aquarius. You have a Leo and Aquarius who really admires you, who really looks up to you. But they just can't stand the fact of you being insecure and also being incompetent, because they know that you are confident. I would say that Aquarius and Leo is like a cheerleader, basically. They do support you based upon for what you do when it comes to promoting yourself and putting yourself out there. They still want you to promote yourself and put yourself out there to be well known. Besides all the likes, besides all the views, there is somebody who's looking at you. Regardless of what you're doing, there is somebody who will look at you. It takes one to be a million to make you popular. It takes one rather than a million to make you popular. Okay? But there is somebody who is actually looking at you. I do pick up that there's a mother here that's actually telling you be careful of your associates and also your friends, because whoever that you think is your friend is really not your friend. I'm not the only one that's saying this, but you probably came across a lot of people who haven't been telling you this, but your mom is probably telling you those people that you think is your friends, they're not your friends. And fellas, I'm trying to tell you, be careful who you dating around this time. Somebody's trying to set you up. It could be, I don't know, whether that you're dating a 26-year-old or 28-year-old, but whoever this is, portray himself to be young, she's trying to set you up. Mama wants you to use your common sense. when it comes to dating people. I mean, it sounds personal, but your mother wants you to use your common sense when it comes to dating people. She don't want you to make the same mistake as she did when it comes to satisfying people or making people happy. So I have here is the strength. I have here is the three of coins. I have here is the two of swords. And I have here is the ace of swords. Be careful of your words. Please be careful of your words when it comes to explaining yourself, and also when it comes to public speaking. Because, like I said, I'm trying to tell you, be careful of how people opinion try to misconstrue your emotions, because they try to make you over exaggerate of something for what it's not. Your employee is probably telling you some things about whoever the supervisor. Okay, whoever this. I'm gonna say it like this: whoever this other supervisor is, whoever this employer is, they're actually trying to tell you about how they're looking at you, but the way that how they look at you is not true. The way that how they're looking at you is really not true. Be wise. Be very, very wise of who you listen to at your job. Be very, very wise, because whoever is trying to put these type of words in your head, it doesn't make any sense, because it's a lie. It's a lie. Okay? You have help. You got help, especially when it comes to your job. I'm telling you, you've got people who is helping you in securing your job. You got people who is watching you. That's actually above the management. You got people who is watching you, and these people will say these things to make you feel incompetent of yourself, make you feel more insecure of yourself. And the reason why they try to make you feel more insecure of yourself, because they try to make you more paranoid. And when you start becoming more paranoid, you're going to think that everybody's against you. You think that everybody's going to attack you. But that is not the case, because whoever this person that you think is your confidant is not your confidant. They're telling these lies because they expect you to look a certain way to these employers who's over your manager, to see you as a crazy person, to see you as a troublemaker, to see you as an antagonist. Whoever that you think is your friend is not your friend. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is somebody who is jealous of you. This is somebody who is envious of you. This is a confirmation, because I did this in 3 readings ago. This could be a male. This could be a male that you're dealing with who actually does not like you, to the point he don't even like himself, and he don't even like women. Even though that he claims himself that he could be with women, but he doing it out of sport. He likes to make women confused. He likes to make women look crazy, so therefore they will not get his job. Get the exact truth from the horse's mouth. Don't get it from the ass's mouth. Don't get it from him. Do not get it from him. Okay? Don't even trust your confidant, because whatever your confidant is saying, he just saying some stuff that comes out of his ass. Excuse my language. I apologize for cursing, but whoever this guy is, he is lying. He is lying. He is lying. He is trying to embarrass you. That's what he's doing. He is trying to publicly humiliate you, basically. That's what he's doing. So, no, don't trust him. Do not. If I were you, I will have a professional conversation with the employer that's over the management. Talk to them rather than talking to your coworker. Talk to them rather than talking to your coworker. Don't confine in your coworker, confine in them. Please. Because whatever it comes out of his mouth, he's trying to make it become more aggressive. Don't believe what he says. Don't believe what he say. Okay? Please don't. Because you got somebody who's protecting your job. Just do not believe what he say. Now, if you are applying for a job, maybe that you do need to revise your resume, and also maybe that you need to be more honest when it comes to your resume. Okay? Because they are looking for somebody that's resourceful as well too. I mean, yes, they are choosing candidates, but you do have to be more honest when it comes to your resume. All right? I have here as the lovers, and I have here as the Nine of Wands. I have here as the Page of Wands. I have here as the Six of Wands. I'm actually, what I'm seeing is that, like I said, you do not want to be as open to your partner. You don't want to be open to your partner. But I see that your partner is more vibrant. I see that your partner is excited at the fact that they want to be with you. I'm actually seeing that your partner is thinking about taking you to an escapade. But for some particular reason, you start to pin up yourself a whole lot of things from your partner. And I believe that the reason why you tend to hold things against your partner because you think that they do not love you or they do not accept you for who you really are. Your partner loves you. And I'm not just saying that. Your partner really loves you because, I mean, if I did not have this card, it would be otherwise. But your partner loves you. Your partner is excited the fact to be with you. And then since they want to travel with you, I mean, the Six of Swords is movement and travel. This is how they want to get to know you. This is how they want to get to know you. I mean, yes, the child will be involved, like I said. I mean, yeah, you are going to be in the child's life. Not only that you're going to be in his partner's life, but you're actually going to be in the child's life too. But they are excited, have the thought of thinking of you being in their life. Your partner already knew everything about you. And I'm going to tell you something. Look at this. Page of Wands, this could be a fire warrior. And the fire warrior is actually close to what element? Fire. They know about your insecurities. They know about your pain. They know what you went through. I bet you, if you tell your partner, if you be more open to your partner based upon of how you feel about certain things or how certain things affect you, they will understand of how you feel. They will understand of how you feel. But again, just let your partner know that you want to be in a relationship where a partner is going to be more receptive and responsive based upon your emotions, because you do not want to be in a relationship with somebody that disregards your emotions. And that's what you're afraid of. Being in a relationship with somebody that disregards your emotion, who doesn't hear you out. But you want to be with somebody who's willing to hear you out. Tell them that. Okay? Because sometimes some fires, they get too busy. They get too hyperactive. And sometimes there comes times that they don't listen when they get too excited. But you just got to let them know and calm them down, so therefore they want to listen what you have to say. Okay? But yes, you got to be honest with them. You got to let them know what's really going on with you. They probably done it. They probably have been through it. When it comes to family, when it comes to job, when it comes to love. You think I'm BSing with you? I'm not. They've been through it, just like you. You think they don't see it for what you see? They dealt with it. There will come to a time when you and your partner are going to sit down and have a serious conversation, and based upon how you feel about certain things and how you see about certain things. When it comes to you and the world, theirs probably be different, but also similar to you. How it affects you emotionally, but how you expect that conversation to happen when you start learning to be open with them. And I believe that you are going to be with a fire sign. This is like a fire and water relationship to me. This is how I feel. This is like a water and fire relationship. The only time when they being sentimental and vulnerable with you is when you're being vulnerable with them. Okay? If you're dealing with a fire sign. And fire sign, when you're dealing with a water sign, you got to be more sentimental with them. Three of Wands, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Two of Wands. Now, there's a possibility that you might be dealing with two lovers, a water and a fire. And it's interesting because right now you're climbing up in the ladder and you have these three staffs, but it's like you actually working your way up, or you're elevating your way up, actually climbing, further up beyond to see the heights of everything else. So it's a possibility that you had probably more than two lovers or three lovers, but I'm actually getting you dealing with a water and fire. I don't know why earth come to mind, but it could be water, fire, or earth. But yeah, you probably got two. I would say two water signs or fire, but I'm sorry, I'm sick with the fire, earth, and water. The fire sign person would be very confused. He'll be confused the fact that that you have two options, or you have two lovers, or he'll be confused the fact that there's two guys that likes you. But he'll be very confused, even though he acts as if that it doesn't bother him, but it actually does bother him. Okay. Now I'm gonna say this: it's a possibility that you have three offers. I'm gonna say three offers when it comes to job. That there are three jobs that's gonna reach out to you and ask you to work with them. One offer is dealing with the interest. The other two offer is actually dealing with financial reasons or financial benefits. Okay. Or the two jobs is going to help you financially, with your financial circumstances. But the first one is actually your interest, which you always love doing. But you just becoming very indecisive because whether that you want to stick with a job that's going to help you financially, or you actually want to stick with a job that you always love doing. When it comes to Two of Wands, okay. But when it comes to relationship, I do see two water signs and a fire sign that really admires you. But the fire sign is going to be very, very confused with the fact that there's two other men that likes you or loves you. My ladies. And I'm sorry to say it's going to be ladies because I have a female who's actually climbing up. So if you were single, you're not going to be single for long because you probably have so many options and so many lovers that's actually looking for you and that's going to be approaching you. And this fire sign is not going to like it. So I have here is the Queen of Swords. I love this art. I really do. And I have here is the Seven of Wands. And I have here is the Chariot, Cancer. And I have here is the Ace of Cups, Cancer. So what I'm getting right now is that you're fighting for your love. You're fighting for your love. You're fighting what you believe in when it comes to love, because you will have people who are trying to step in and tell you who you cannot love or who you cannot be in a relationship with. People will, like I said, people will actually give you their opinions to misconstrue your emotions, to make you feel lesser about yourself. So it's a possibility that people will say that, well, you're not meant to be with him because of the fact of you're not, up to his standards or status. Or he's not meant to be with you because he's not up to your standards or status. But then it's like you're actually defending yourself and telling people for who you love and who you admire, as if that he would stand up for you and, stand up to these people and telling them who he loves and who he admires. So I feel as if that you stand up for yourself and telling the truth and being honest of your feelings and telling people for who you love and admire, as he would stand up to people and telling them or who he loves and admires too, because you dealing with somebody who is basically telling him what he needs to do with his life and how he needs to. Well, I'm gonna say this: you deal with a man who has a family that's trying to create his life, basically trying to reshape his life, and telling him who he needs to be with, who he needs to date, and who he needs to marry. And right now he is working on and standing up for himself, and also telling people who he loves, rather than allowing people and telling him who he needs to love. And as for you, you're telling people of who you love, rather than I'm not going to say rather than, but you are actually going against people who is trying to make you feel less of yourself and tell you who you cannot love, based upon for where you are right now, that you're not doing further beyond things, like you're not, like as if that you are. Let me say this for an example. I'm just going to put an example, okay? Let's say that you're not where you are right now, as in being successful. You're not being successful. And since you're not successful, therefore you're not meant to get married. You're not meant to settle down, or you're not meant to be with anybody because you're not successful. You have not done anything else for your life yet. And you will come across people who will tell you some things like, well, since you have not done anything for your life, why you need to be married? Because how he's going to see you. He's going to see you being pointless. He's going to see you being useless because you have nothing else for your life. You have not done anything else for your life. And so with this Queen of Swords, you're actually telling these people to pipe down so they cannot control how you feel and how you love. As he is actually telling these people to pipe down and telling him that who he can or cannot love. And right here with the Chariot, I see as if that whether that he's coming to you, or if he's not willing to be strong enough for the fight, there's somebody else who's coming for you. And I did say it's a water sign man, whether it could be a Cancer or a Piscean man, if he's not willing to be strong enough to stand up for this fight, to fight for your love, because there is somebody who is going to have your hand in marriage. If you are a female, I'm sorry to say as I have as a female, but if you are a female, there is a guy who is actually fighting for your love. Could be a water sign and a fire sign. Ten of Swords, Eight of Coins, King of Coins, the World. So I'm sorry to be the burden of bad news, but it meant to happen. It's supposed to happen, but there's a happy ending afterwards. For my females, I'm sorry, fellas. If I was going to do a reading for you fellas, I will do a reading for you fellas. But the main quadrant of reading is the females. My females, it's a possibility that you're going to end up losing your job with the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Coins. that whatever that you work for, it actually comes to ruins. That it was like a losing battle. Maybe that's the reason why it's a losing battle, because it's not. I'm not gonna say it's not meant for you, but you was fighting for something that it was not gonna turn out for the benefit for you at all. That was not gonna be fruitful whatsoever, because you was fighting for something that's already dead. That's already pointless. You was fighting for something that was not going to be successful at all. Whatever is lost, let it be lost, because it meant to be lost. It was not going to be a non-winning battle at all. Because I'm going to say the reason why it ended this way, because of the brutality that you had to deal, the brutality that you had to face if it was a job. Whether it's if that you was being physically, verbally abused, you was being mistreated, and people was overlooking you, well, overlooked based upon your work performance. And yeah, I'm going to say it was based upon discrimination too. It was based upon discrimination, to make you feel less of yourself as not a human being, but also as a woman too. So is it worth of you losing this job? Yes, because it was a losing battle. The reason why it was a losing battle, because you're fighting for something that was not victorious at all. That was just dead. And I'm not going to say that you're going to lose your job, but everybody else will lose their job too. Everybody else is involved. So don't think that you're being impacted when it comes to you. Everybody else is involved too. This could be a layoff. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait a minute. Layoff. That's what I meant to say. This could be a layoff, or this could be a shutdown. Normally, I would have a tower card for layoffs and shutdown, but with Ten of Swords, since it's not about you, it's everybody else too. So you're not the only one. But, however, with the Eight of Coins, for what you have worked so hard for, it was brutal. It was brutal. It was more as if you was in an abusive environment. You had a hard time in seeing it because you was in denial. The reason why that you was in denial, because you need this job for finance, for money, to survive and to live. But you was not willing to see the fact that you was in an abusive environment. The happy ending of that is, I have here as a King of Coins. Normally, with the King of Coins, this could be prosperity, this could be abundance, but also a new job as well too. So when you actually lose that old job, there's a possibility you might receive this new job that's going to come to you. That there is a wealthy man that's going to pick you up from this toxic environment and put you in a better environment, this new job. And it's a possibility that you're going to work along with him to the point that this partnership will end up being a love relationship when it comes to this King of Coins. So, did I not say, my ladies, that you have 3 men? I don't know why did I put up 5, but you have 3 men. You have a Leo, water, and earth. So with this earth sign snatching you from this toxic environment, not only that you're going to work in his job, but you might work beside him. So this partnership might lead into marriage. Because with the World card, based upon the meaning for what I read in the booklet, it does mean to understand the dynamics of the divine feminine and divine masculine. And once they start merged together, or come as one, a whole, it becomes a world, living in their own world. So it is a possibility that you are going to be in sacred reunion with this earth sign man once you lose this job. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's what it looks like. And the reason why you're losing this job because this is the ending of being abused, being taken advantage of. And you actually waking up from recognizing and reckoning that you were being abused and you were taken advantage of. Maybe retaliated. Give me 1 second. Is this dealing with the job loss? Yeah. Yeah. Um. I'm sorry to be the burden of bad news, but yeah, this is dealing with a job loss. But like I said, I'm going to repeat myself. It's meant to happen because you do not want to be put up with this type of abuse. You really don't, and you don't want to force yourself into doing something that you do not like doing at all. You don't, because you have been mistreated and you have been abused in being at this job. But fortunately, somebody's going to take you from that toxic environment and put you in a safer environment. And y'all going to end up working together with the two of coins. I told you you're going to get a new job. What did I just say? When it comes to this job loss, you're going to get a new job. So there's nothing for you to worry about. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second. Hold on for 1 minute. I'm sorry. Just give me one second. One more second. So here's two scenarios. Okay, one is you are going to receive a new job when it comes to a merge that's going to happen, that's going to take place from your previous job. Okay, so yes, it is a possibility it could be a layoff, but the reason why it's going to be a layoff taking place because due to a merge. So again, you might lose your job, but also you will you will still have your position. So it's a possibility they're going to ask you to come back to work for them when this merge is going to take place. When it comes to relationship, I'm just going to say this, ladies. When you get into this relationship, as in this new job, make sure you understand your man's preference. Okay? Make sure you understand your man's preference, because I have here it's the Ace of Coins, which deals with new opportunities, new job, and I have here it's the Nine of Cups, wish for fulfillment, which means as if that you are going to enjoy the sacred reunion with your lover. And I have here is the Queen of Wands, which means as if that you are going to be very attractive, you are going to be enthusiastic, and also you are willing to put yourself out there in the world. But yet I have here is the Two of Cups. Now we all know that Two of Cups mean as in lovers. Two of Cups means as a sacred reunion with two people in the two different worlds and two different spectrum. But ladies, again, I'm just going to say this. Just be aware of your man preference. Make sure that he likes you, or ask him if he likes a man. Okay? I'm gonna read a card of the Two of Cups. Because sometimes that could be leading to confusion because you're probably thinking like, so wait a minute, you said that I'm going to be in a relationship with this guy, but also I'm not going to find out that he's gay. I'm not just saying that. Cups, cups, cups. Come on, cups. Come on, cups. Where you at, cups? Okay, I see the cups. All right. Okay, come on, cups. There we go. Two of Cups. Enkudo and Gilgamesh. Iraq. Sumerian mythology. Two Cups is an idle relationship but still face difficulties. That still face difficulties. Okay. Gilgamesh was a tyrant until Enkudu was created for him to be his equal in every way. Though their initial meeting was rocky, they came to love each other very much as opposites who complete each other. Okay. Upright, happy relationship, equality, partnership, attractions, connections. Alright, okay. Here's the thing. It's still. I'm still going to go with the preference. Ladies, just be aware of your man preference. Make sure that your man likes a woman or likes a man if you start to get in a relationship with him, okay? Just be aware of your man preference. Now, remember when I said that you need to work on being more open to your partner? I had a conversation with a friend earlier in regards of being in a relationship. And I did mention earlier that when it comes to relationship, partners would tend to be in disappointments because the other partner is not, not fitting into their expectation, expecting to be what they want them to be. But going back what I just said when I had a conversation with a friend of mine, I want to be in a relationship. This is what I told him. I want to be in a relationship with a man that I understand his differences. Not that what I want him to be, but I just want to be in a relationship to understand each other's differences and what he sees for who I am and what I see him for who he is. Two of Cups. Understanding the person's opposite, but seeing for who they really are, accepting for you for who you are as you accept them for who they are too. Whether it could be the good or the bad. Okay? Because I'm gonna say it like this. Hold on for 1 second. I'm sorry. When you are being with somebody that you expect them to being you, because the reason why I gave my friend that type of response, he had mentioned that you, in order for you to be in a love relationship, but I don't think he meant it that way, is that you need to start loving yourself as you expected somebody to love you. And I understand that concept. I really do understand that concept, but yet I do not want him to love me as I love myself. I want him to love me of who I see, of myself, as what he sees of me. Okay? Not how I feel about myself, but I want him to love me as how I see myself. Well, how he sees myself. How he sees me. I'm going to say that. I want him to love me as how he sees me. So therefore, I want to understand his differences as he will understand my differences. Okay? As you want to be in a relationship with a man who actually loves you for who you are, as you love a man for who he is, ladies. Okay? And fellas, you want to love a woman for who she is, as she will love you for who you are. Because a woman, she has a preference. She actually is attracted by a guy based upon his quality, based upon his characteristics, as you are attracted to a female based upon her qualities and based upon her characteristics. But yet, y'all not going to have the same characteristic or emotions about how she feels about herself or how she feels about how you feel about yourself. No. I want to attract a man to how he sees me, and I want to, and really, well, as if that he's basically is attracted of me based upon how he sees of me. Okay? What I'm trying to say is that you want to be in a relationship with someone who has a different emotions about you. I'm not saying whether it could be a dislike or like, but how they see you. Based upon their emotions. How they see you. Based upon that you do not have to interpret their emotions. Because you think that you're interpreting their emotions based upon how you feel. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It doesn't. A person will be attracted for how they see you. Based upon how they feel. Okay? And a love language only works based upon the communication that you and him have. That nobody cannot comprehend. That's how love language works. It's what you and him share. That's how it goes. And then y'all start to interpret to one another. But he does not project based upon how you feel. He only projects based upon how he feels about you. That's what I meant to say. The opposite. And working with the opposite. Rather be the unexpected rather than seeing the expectancy. It's actually learning to work with the unexpected rather than seeing the expectancy. That's what I meant to say when it comes to Two of Cups. Because let's be truthful, let's be honest. If you was to be in a relationship with somebody that actually feels the same way how you feel about yourself, you would think it's kind of boring. And also, they will be kind of disappointed because they expect you to be something what they want you to be. Let me just say this for example. Let's just say that if you are a authentic spiritual girl who is actually worshiping all these type of goddess, and all of a sudden you date a man who also has interest of you in studying the goddess and divine. But then when he see you otherwise being free and being what you want to be or differently, he thinks that you're not acting godly. He thinks that you're not acting like a goddess. Because again, you consider yourself as a goddess, right? Therefore, you will act yourself like a goddess, right? So therefore, you would feel the same way how you feel about yourself as acting like a goddess quarterly, right? That's what I meant to say. Because I know for a fact that you do not act like a goddess all the time. You just act like you. But being with a man who actually feels about how you feel about yourself can be boring, can be irritating in the same time. But yet it is kind of fun and interesting and spontaneous to be with a man who actually feels the opposite of the way how you feel about yourself. Because why? His distractions is way beyond of how you feel about yourself and how you see about yourself. He sees certain things about you for what you don't even know. And that's really could turn you on. That actually adds spontaneity within the relationship itself. Is when your partner sees something about you that you don't even know about. So that's what I meant to tell my friend earlier, is that I'm willing to be with a man who actually has a different emotions about me, rather than be with a man who actually has the same emotions about me. Because I believe that you date somebody who has the same emotions of how you feel about yourself is kind of mediocre. I'm not just saying that date somebody that you love yourself and also you date somebody who hates you. No, that's not what I meant to say. Date somebody who actually loves things about you for what you don't even see about yourself. That's the unexpectancy. And you're going to start to realize it when you and him are start seeing things about each other when it comes to work within this relationship, when you start open to one another. Because when you be in a relationship with someone who's not afraid to be open to you, therefore you want to take your time and be open with them too. so they can learn more things about you. That's love right there. It's honesty and also truth. Rather than hiding your emotions from them. Because when you start hiding your emotions from them, you tend to push them away. And that actually kind of offends them a bit because it's that you don't trust them. But they trust you when they start being open with you or open to you. More like being honest with you. So that's what you want, is to work the polarity and the difference with one another where there could be good and bad, because that would add a spontaneity within the relationship itself. It's the unexpectancy, but not the expectancy, is the unexpectancy. That's what you want in this relationship. In order to understand your partner, is the unexpectancy of what they admire you for, what you don't see about yourself, and what you admire them for what they don't see about themselves. And also, when it comes to this new job, you might see some, the differences of your employees that will help you to understand your employees better as well too. I'm gonna end this with the oracle. I think I need to use the other oracle. I'm gonna use the Universal Love Oracle deck. You probably will be in a relationship with someone who has a childhood trauma as you. When you actually start sharing the same story, that's when love starts coming in. I have here creativity. I can't show you because she's naked. Okay. I can't show you the card, but hold on. Okay, there we go. An aura of creativity surrounds you. Life's universal force fills your soul and seeks expressions through you. Will you be a channel for the divine light to flow through? If the answer is yes, then open your heart and let go of self-judgment and doubt. As I have been saying throughout this reading, stop dwelling on doubt, because doubt also misconstrued your emotion as well too. Stop with that. Stop it. Let the colors of your soul flow through you. Let the music of your soul be heard. Sing your divine song, dance your divine dance, express every feeling, emotions, and allow yourself to shine. I have been saying putting yourself out there. I have been saying that. I have been saying putting yourself out there. Because when you start putting yourself out there, it only takes one person to make you famous. It only takes one, then a million, to make you famous. So start putting yourself out there. Express every feeling and emotions and allow yourself to shine. Be one with your soul, your true, eternal self. Dream the divine dream and love unconditionally. I'm just going to say this. When you are confident within yourself and when you start acknowledging the power and the gift you have within yourself, you will stop overthinking and comparing yourself to everybody else. All it takes for you is to put yourself out there and promoting yourself. Disregard the likes and views. Like I said, it only takes that one person that'll make you famous. All it takes is that one person. But if you want to put yourself out there, you want yourself to be known, put yourself out there. Push yourself in doing anything, whatever it takes for what you're good at, what you love doing. But what you need to do is stop that doubting and stop thinking that, oh, I can't do it because everybody else is doing it. They're not like you. What did I say in my last readings? I said everybody cannot have the same gift as you because you are very different from everybody else. Everybody else is not like you. So if you expect to be known, if you expect to be famous, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Let yourself be known. Okay? But when it comes to this creativity, when it comes to the relationship, when you start becoming more open with your partner and you allowing him or her to be within your vicinity, when it comes to that trust, wherever you and him or her have, it is very powerful to the point that it could heal you and him. Whatever that you might be going through. All it takes is being patient to get to learn about your partner as your partner starts to get to learn about you. And when you start open to one another, that powerful which you and your partner has is going to heal that relationship. That's the magic of that love that you and your partner have. But all it takes is you to have that trust within your partner. So that is the message that I have for you. If you would like a personal reading, you can always email me at dwpsychicreading@yahoo.com. You can always reach me at dwpsychicreading on Instagram, or you guys should reach me at Ganesha Girl number 9 on TikTok. I thank you for watching this reading, and I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful, beloved week.